Hi, this is Ed Rubin from New York City. I'm a writer on art, culture, and entertainment, and I sometimes handle restaurant reviews. I also travel worldwide. I'm an independent writer, and I write for magazines and newspapers and online, both nationally and internationally. And I'm talking to David Lefkowitz from Days Gone By on UNC Radio.
Here on the 13th Annual Total Theater Tony Show with me, Dave Lefkowitz. Now, I do this for a bunch of reasons. I do this because I love the theater, because I've done this for so many years, because it's part of the work that I do. Those are the worky sort of reasons that I do this annual special devoted to the theater. But I also do it because it's fun, because it's exciting to me, it's lively, and it's great to talk to theater people who are as passionate about the form and the art form as I am. And someone who always gives us a great time because he's so opinionated, and he has such joy in talking about the theater and Broadway that I invite him back every year, and we always have a great time. His name is Ed Rubin. He writes for Artes magazine, as well as New York Theater Wire, Berkshire Fine Arts, and TotalTheater.com. He is a longtime member of the Outer Critics Circle, the Drama Desk, and even a board member of the American Theater Critics Association. Ed Rubin, world traveler, welcome back to the Daverhood. How are you?
I am fine. I just want to say after that intro that $1.35 senior citizen gets me on the subway.
That's right. And that'll probably go up next year.
It will. I do want to say that this is a very strange time we're living in, as every media analyst and writer reminds us. And the things that are affecting the world is, on the top of the line, Donald Trump.
Okay.
Then comes, and we're talking about theater, and we're bringing it back to theater.
Sure.
Then comes Broadway, then comes money, and then comes Black Matters. Now, everybody knows Trump. I don't have to beat that into the ground. The reviews on theater, they're always saying, because we're living in this awful time, this play relates to this. Sweat is so important right now. The Lynn Nottage play that won the Pulitzer Prize that I don't think should have, though it was beautifully acted and directed. I saw it off Broadway and Broadway. Sally Field and Julia Roberts, they made these movies years ago about factory workers and this worker and that worker and laying off. So it's old news. But they did give her this, and I think it's part of the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, I'll tell you, Hilton Als, the critic New Yorker, just won a Pulitzer for criticism. He's black. The artist Bradford now has the American Pavilion, and I don't know if he won a prize, or at the Venice Biennale. So there are a lot of black things happening. Even there's black casting. The actress who plays the lead, who's up for Tony in Natasha Pierre and the 1812 Comet, is black.
Where are you going with this, Ed? I'm kind of fascinated, yeah.
The thing is, she was nominated for a Tony, and she wasn't particularly good. She was adequate. I did want to say that I took someone from Russia to see this play. I thought she'd love it. And she was outraged that there was a black Natasha. Because I said, why? And she said, because Natasha to the Russian people is the soul of Russia. How can a black woman be the soul of Russia? So I had to explain to her about colorblind casting.
Yeah, not to mention Pushkin was part black.
Yes, Pushkin was part black. And last year, Chekhov's play, Roundabout Theater production of The Cherry Orchard, they changed all the serfs in the play. They called them slaves in the play, and they were black. So I just thought this is what it is. Now, as far as awards...
Well, wait. I really want to get your take on, because it's like you're throwing a grenade out there that hasn't exploded yet. What are you saying about all these black-related things? Is it a movement?
Do you
disagree with it? Where are you at?
Started a few years ago when they were complaining at the Oscars that there wasn't enough black representation in the Oscars.
Right. On Oscars that was hosted, by the way, by a black... He was the only black person in the room. But okay, yeah.
Yes. So the thing is, this is everybody's mind with all the shootings of the unarmed black people.
Right.
There's a lot going on in that area. They're tearing down in New Orleans, Robert E. Lee, all the Confederate things they're trying to do away with to rewriting history. And I understand that, although I was born in the South, although Tampa, Florida isn't exactly considered the South by the hardliner South, like Alabama and Georgia and those people. So things are changing, so that really is in the air.
So you're just commenting on something that you feel is a trend. Is
right, absolutely.
Neither good nor bad. You're just saying this is out there. Okay.
But I'd like to talk a little bit about the awards. First of all, one has to remember, and I did say money was one of the big things. Bette Midler's play, $40 million plus advance, is probably going to sweep the Tonys. But I did want to say, out of all the awards nominations, the only person that I'm really interested in that he wins is Richard Thomas. It took him decades to get over his John Boy Walton's image. And he was in Incident at Vichy, Enemy of the People recently, brilliant. And in this one, he's in Little Foxes, and he's nominated by all of them. Everyone nominated him for Best Supporting Actor. And I met him after the theater in the street, and he was very affable, and we chatted him up. Little Foxes is quite wonderful. I love Lillian Hellman. I like talky plays. I want to hear what's being said. I listen. Laura Linney as Regina is fabulous. I saw Cynthia Nixon was playing, what's her name?
Birdie. Yeah.
Birdie. It's a lesser part, and it wasn't so fabulous, but she did an okay job. I do want to say about Cynthia Nixon, I didn't realize what a great actress she was until last week. I saw her in a very small indie movie called A Quiet Passion, where she plays Emily Dickinson.
Oh.
And it's wonderful. She was wonderful. So anyhow, I'd like to talk also about the best plays.
Yeah.
What I felt was my favorite plays. Now, the plays that everybody's nominating, the top three, is Indecent, the Paula Vogel play, which is about the life of, well, it's actually about Sholem Asch, the Jewish writer who I'm going to return to read some of his stuff I haven't read in decades. And he had a play, The Vengeance of God, and it's all about the play and the troupe that took it, and they were arrested and all this kind of stuff. Marvelously directed, marvelously acting. It's on Broadway, but it's on between 6th Avenue and Broadway, which always has lesser clout in a certain sense. Most of the high clout plays play between 7th and 8th Avenue, just as it happens. Then Oslo, I saw off Broadway. That's at Lincoln Center now. That's up for Best Play. And then Sweat, which won the Pulitzer, which I don't think it maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago could have won the Pulitzer. Now, we have a problem with musicals. There is no really wonderful musical on Broadway that I feel are life-changing. Now, mind you, I could take this back. I have not seen Dear Evan Hansen. And everyone I know that saw it left the theater crying and upset and et cetera, et cetera. I saw Groundhog Day. Andy Carl, he injured his leg, as everybody knows, and he's now wearing a brace so you could see his leg. First act is dreadful. The second act is better. He is wonderful. Now, the thing has come from away. The review, if I remember correctly, said, well, this is just what we needed in this time of Trump, the coming together of people, and how one city opened their arms to, it was after 9/11 when 30 planes loaded with people had to be diverted. They couldn't go into the country, so they landed them in Newfoundland, which is the largest airport practically on the continent, because during World War II, planes refueled there, but now they only have 3 or 4 flights, and all of a sudden 30 flights, millions of people, and what the people tried to do, it's a pastiche, little scenes about everything. They tried to please everybody. Black couples, mixed couple, Indian couple, gay couples, this and that. And I just didn't enjoy it, so I kind of don't know about the outstanding musical, but I do want to say something about the choreography. All of the choreography of all of the plays, except Hello, Dolly, was rather dreadful as far as I'm concerned.
Oh.
Status quo, nothing exciting.
No, wait. Did you see, Ed, did you see Bandstand by Andy Blankenbuehler?
So I saw Bandstand, and they were a little better. And I enjoyed Bandstand, by the way. I did enjoy it. It's uneven, rocky, which made it even more exciting, because who wants a perfect play? Hello, Dolly is a perfect play. You know, I didn't particularly love it, although I loved Bette Midler. She's wonderful. She was just walks to the edge of the stage, comes out, breaks the fourth wall, gives love, throws love out to the audience, and we all cry. It's wonderful. She was like a gift, a personal gift to us.
Wow.
Now, she's 72. She still moves around. She is the whole thing. It's the best bet on Broadway, which will be the title if I write about it.
Okay. So that was obviously your favorite show of the season.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
6 Degrees of Separation.
Oh.
Wonderfully acted, wonderfully directed. I saw it years ago. I forgot all about the various intricacies of the plot. And then Lillian Hellman's The Little Foxes, and for a long time, Indecent was my favorite musical, and it still is. It was beautifully directed. But, it takes a lot of daring for this to be nominated because, one, I don't think it's doing so well. Second of all, as I said, it's between Broadway and 6th Avenue, and also it's a niche. You probably filled with Jewish people.
Remember when Jewish people were not the niche on Broadway, but they were Broadway?
Yes.
Indecent would have started Menashe Skolnick or something and run for half a year with no problem. Now you're right, it is struggling at the box office. It's probably not going to get the Tony Award because that will probably go to Oslo. So it's struggling a bit.
I saw Oslo. It's 3 hours long. It's wonderfully directed, but it's old hat. We've seen all of this before. I've seen many plays, even a David Hare play, I think. Now, the revival, obviously, is going to go to Hello, Dolly. Here's another thing. David Hyde Pierce, nominated for the Best Actor. He's awful.
Oh, no, I thought his accent was terrible, but I thought he was delightful in every other aspect.
Did you see it?
Yes, I saw Hello, Dolly.
Oh, I don't know why he was even in the play. He was just dead.
I like David Hyde Pierce in virtually everything he's in. Yeah. And I would say, except for this terrible, terrible Bronx accent that he puts on for Horace and Hello, Dolly, I just loved him. I thought he was terrific.
Well, Evan Creel is going to win that award for Best Supporting Actor. He really is quite wonderful in this. Warren Carlyle choreographed Hello, Dolly. He was not nominated by the Tony. He was nominated by Outer Critics and Drama Desk. He was not nominated for Tony because they probably figured, well, he recreated the choreography of Jerome Robbins. But it was the most exciting dancing on Broadway.
Ed Rubin, any last thoughts on the season as a whole, or Broadway as a whole, where we are at currently in this age of Trump, or Trump notwithstanding?
Well, I don't think this was any more exciting than any other year. We all beat the drums. I do want to put in a shout for Gently Down the Stream at the Public Theater. Harvey Fierstein stars in it. The most awful voice in the world. I can't stand it. I'm never fond of his acting, but after 20 minutes I said to myself, not everybody talks like you, Edward. I got used to it. He did a wonderful job. I cried, I laughed. He was just wonderful in this play.
A lot of people like that play, Gently Down the Stream. Maybe we'll see that on Broadway this coming season. It would be nice if that transfers. It's
quite wonderful. When are you coming back to New York with a play of your own? That's what I want to know.
Oh, and it might be a while, but I'm trying for 2019 to bring back 2 of the shows I've done and maybe a third. That's my goal, is to bring Shalom Dammit back, bring back Miracle of Long John's for a bit, and maybe do like 3 plays in repertory.
I was just going to say that would be great.
Well, good. I'm glad you like my shows. That really means a lot, and it's great that you came to them and cheered and laughed and applauded. And
I always say you are a wonderful, wonderful writer. Just wonderful writer.
Well,
you should write a part for me. I can make my debut in a David Lefkowitz play.
We'll see. From your mouth to God's ears and really to a producer's pockets. That would be the...
Love to your dog.
Thank you.
Love to Joyce and love to you.
Thank you, Ed Rubin. Have a great one.
Okay. Take care. Bye, David.
Bye-bye.